Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we are going to be talking about lost knowledge and ancient technology. I got a ton of really interesting sources, whole bunch of YouTube videos, historical text excerpts, and even some Wikipedia entries. Okay. And they all kind of point to this idea that maybe civilizations in the past, were even more advanced than we think they were.
It's a fascinating idea, isn't it? Like, what if we had all this tech in the past that we're only just now starting to catch up to? Yeah.
Like, we always think of progress as this linear thing. Yeah, but what if it's not? What if, like, we had all this stuff?
What if we forgot?
Yeah, or
then we learned.
What if there's, like, these echoes of crazy innovations?
That's what we're going to be exploring.
Just waiting to be rediscovered.
Yeah. Ancient discoveries is a good place to start.
Oh, yeah. Ancient discoveries.
This video is really cool because it challenges that whole idea of the host being primitive.
It does. And like they have some pretty good examples of ingenuity. Oh
yeah, for sure.
Like, remember that Chinese underwater weapon?
Or
mai?
Oh yeah, herme.
It's basically just like a spear attached to a rope and bellows. So hey.
Simple, but like,
yeah,
what they understood about physics back then, totally. The underwater combat, it's fascinating. Like they were able to make this weapon propel a spear with enough force to go through a ship's hull.
Yeah, underwater.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Now, like, does this change how we think of, like...
I think so. Me too.
Warfare.
It makes you think, were they more strategically advanced than we thought?
Totally. And, okay, speaking of unexpected advancements...
Yeah.
Let's talk about ancient languages.
Yeah.
This is where it gets good. Ancient deforestation and Babylon Tartaria exposed.
Right.
It's a wild one.
It gets into this whole other level, not just into deciphering ancient languages, but like the power they had.
The power. Okay.
Yeah. Like they say that the Irish language predates Latin.
Whoa.
Really?
Isn't that crazy?
It changes how we think about the evolution of language.
It does. It totally flips the script in there. And then they go even further. They say that ancient languages, had magic woven into them.
Magic? Beret?
Yeah.
Like, help me wrap my head around that. What do you mean by magic?
Like, imagine a word for tree. But it doesn't just label a tree. It embodies the tree's essence. Like its life force. In fact, its connection to everything. Speaking the word isn't just communication. You're like tapping into some kind of deeper power.
So you're not just describing reality or influencing it.
It's powerful stuff.
Yeah.
And this ties into this idea of cant or argot, these secret language that initiates would use to convey hidden knowledge. And Focarelli, the mystery of the cathedrals, is into this. They say that even the cathedrals, like the buildings themselves,
were built as expressions of this secret language. They were encoding knowledge within their structures.
Okay, so we've got ancient weapons. We've got these secret languages.
Right.
Hidden meanings in architecture.
Yeah.
It's like all pointing to this past.
Like a past that could really way richer than we think.
Much more
complex than
we realize.
Absolutely. And this video even talks about cyclical history, this idea that, civilizations rise and fall and they inherit knowledge from each other.
It's like a relay race?
Exactly. Across, like, millennia. Through
time.
Yeah. And after a big upheaval, whether it's a natural disaster or societal collapse, they say that this knowledge would be preserved in these arcs, so while carrying the seeds of civilization forward.
That's amazing.
Let's talk about the Biltmore estate.
Wait, the Biltmore?
Yeah.
Like the massive mansion in North Carolina.
The one and only.
What's so mysterious about a fancy house?
Well, in Biltmore Unveiled, Vanderbilt's Underground, Asheville, NC, they suggest there's more to it than meets the eye. Good.
Okay.
This video questions the official narrative of how it was built.
Okay. They
point out these anachronistic features.
Anachronistic meaning like?
They don't fit the timeline.
Exactly. Architectural elements and symbols that just don't seem right, for when it was supposed to have been built.
Interesting.
And so this leads to this theory that maybe the Biltmore wasn't built from scratch in the late 19th century. Like maybe it's a repurposed structure.
Really? Maybe.
Even from a much older civilization.
So not just a mansion, but a relic.
Potentially.
Okay, I'm intrigued. But who built it?
And that's where we get to Tartaria.
Okay, Tartaria. I hear where that main kid's coming out, yeah.
It's a big with it.
Less who maybe aren't familiar, and you give us the rundown.
Tartaria is this hypothetical lost civilization.
Okay.
And some researchers believe it existed way before recorded history.
And they think that Tartaria had super advanced technology and knowledge, maybe even surpassing our own.
So the Biltmore could be a Tartarian legacy.
Possibly.
And it gets even crazier because some people believe
I know, right?
that the builders of these structures weren't just architects. They were giants.
Wild.
Okay, giant skeletons. What's the evidence?
Well, introduction to Giants 2019, Tartaria Origins, in the Tartaria Explained, TD3 White, Balding Giants in America False History, both go into this. Okay. And they talk about discoveries like Lovelock Cave in Nevada, right, where they say be huge skeletons and artifacts were around. It's a very controversial story, right? Some people say it's a hoax, but others say it's real. So
we're going from grand estates to giant skeleton.
I know.
This deep dive is wild.
What?
And speaking of wild, Tartaria Explained, PT4 ancient EMF technology.
Yeah.
Brings in another element.
EMF technology.
EMF technology. Yeah.
Electromagnetic fields. What if ancient civilizations understood and harnessed this energy?
That's fascinating.
It is, right? It makes you think about the pyramids.
Yeah.
What if they weren't just tombs?
Right.
What if they were giant energy generators?
Like wireless electricity.
That's what some people think.
Before Tesla.
They think ancient civilizations had mastered manipulating these EMFs.
That's amazing.
Could have created wireless power grids, harnessing energy from the atmosphere itself.
Wow. Okay, whether we're talking about giant skeletons or ancient power grids, one theme that keeps coming up is this idea of suppressed technology.
Oh, absolutely.
And Tartaria Explained, PT5, air travel, oil, oligarchy, Titanic Hindenburg.
Right.
Really dives into this using the oil industry.
The classic example.
Right.
Big oil suppressing alternative energy to keep their monopoly.
Exactly, yeah. So efficient and affordable travel. But even like advanced air travel like Zeppelins.
Oh yeah, they talk about Zeppelins.
Intentionally suppressed.
To control resources, to maintain that dominance of fossil fuels.
So it's not just about lost knowledge.
Right.
It's hidden knowledge.
It's buried to protect these
powerful
interests.
Okay, so what other innovations exactly that lost? Strikers and breasts.
What if free energy is real, but it's being kept from us?
Right. And what about Tesla?
He
claimed to have tapped into unlimited energy.
He did. It makes you wonder.
Oh, we're not seeing that tech.
It really does, Bo. It highlights why it's important to explore alternative perspectives, right? Even the ones outside the mainstream, totally. And it's not like every claim holds up, right? Uncharted X, Evidence of Advanced Technology and Ancient Civilizations, BSP Shat 14, features researchers who are actually skeptical, right, of the capabilities of these ancient civilizations.
You have to think critically.
But it's important to question and to explore.
And to consider different viewpoints.
Exactly.
That's how we find.
You uncovered the truth.
The truth.
Exactly.
So what does this mean for us?
That's the big
question right now.
Yeah, what can we learn from the past?
Yeah.
And how can we apply that knowledge to today?
Are we just supposed to,
marvel
at the potential, or is there more?
That's what we have to figure out.
What if we could rediscover those lost innovations?
Imagine the benefits.
That could benefit us now.
They could change everything. And that brings us to vortex-based mathematics.
Oh, yeah. Vortex-based mathematics?
Touched on it earlier.
Okay, so vortex-based mathematics, Marco Rodin, really goes into it.
Yeah, they take a deep dive.
What's so special about vortex math?
So it's a complex system, but the main idea is that it unlocks a deeper understanding of energy flow in the universe. And proponents believe that this can be applied to a ton of different fields, from physics and engineering,
to biology and even spirituality.
So could this be the key?
Possibly.
To creating free energy devices?
Some researchers think so.
To advanced healing tech?
They're actively exploring it. And that's why it's important to support, these innovative thinkers. We've got links to that, crowdfunding campaigns and study guides, and more in the description if you're interested.
Awesome.
Knowledge is power.
Yes.
And it's even more powerful when we share it.
And when we support those pushing the boundaries.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We might be able to bring the science of the past into the present.
Okay, so ancient weapons, secret languages, giant skeletons, potential energy solutions from the past, so a lot to unpack. This is a lot. Where do we go from here?
Let's talk about comets.
Comets.
Yeah. So the Great Lakes catastrophe blazing star of 1664, mysterious Michigan, brings comets into the mix.
Comet. Yeah, because icy gusty things.
Yeah, like those travelers through space.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do those have to do with lost civilizations?
So they suggest that comets might have caused some major events in the past.
Okay.
Like maybe wiping out whole civilizations or causing tons of destruction.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, a big comet impact could explain exactly why some of these civilizations just disappeared.
Totally.
Like on.
They highlight all these historical accounts and people seeing comets as like harbinger. Oh, wow, change. Or even doom. Yeah. Like imagine how that would impact how people saw the world. Yeah, where they fit into the universe, right? I know.
So comets is like agents of destruction.
Possibly.
Reset buttons.
Yeah, almost like a cosmic reset button.
Whoa, that's intense.
It is, and it ties back into that cyclical history idea.
Yeah.
You know, civilizations rising and falling, knowledge getting lost and then rediscovered.
Right, it's like the universe has its own way of like shaking things up, though, forcing a restart. Yeah, you guy could have played a role in the downfall of Tartaria.
It's definitely something to think about, you know, maybe Tartaria wasn't destroyed by like internal conflicts or some gradual decline.
Yeah.
Maybe it was something external.
Oh.
Like a comet.
Oh, I did had
another layer.
Yeah, to the mystery.
Speaking of mysteries, Awabu videos talk about like
oh yeah,
subterranean networks and buried cities.
Underground city. I was
talking about like actual underground cities.
That's what Tartaria explained. PT6 subterranean networks, the underground railroads, and buried cities.
Okay, and like mole people?
Well, they suggest that these huge underground networks exist. Wow, like connecting cities or even continents.
Underground cities, that's sci-fi.
It's crazy, right? Oh.
What would they use those
for? They speculate that they could have been for transportation.
Okay.
Communication, or even shelter during like times of upheaval.
Right.
Like if a comet was coming, you'd want to be underground. Yeah, makes sense. I like go hide.
And they even connect it to the Underground Railroad.
Oh, wow.
Suggesting that maybe these ancient networks were repurposed throughout history.
It's like we don't even know. We don't know how much we haven't uncovered.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
They're actual evidence for these networks.
So they point to anecdotal accounts, historical records, and even modern-day discoveries of tunnels and underground structures that we can't explain.
Like those tunnels in Pensacola unveiled. Secret tunnels under Palafox and Bay Giant Starford, the king of Pensacola.
Exactly. Those tunnels seem way older, than anything we know about.
It makes you wonder who built those.
Right. It makes you think.
And why?
And they really emphasize the importance of oral history, right? First-hand accounts, right? Even if the official records are gone, those personal stories, to be really valuable.
Okay, so underground cities, secret tunnels.
What about these star forts that keep getting mentioned?
Oh yeah, the star forts.
How those fit in?
So star forts are those star-shaped fortifications you find all over the world. And they're usually attributed to military purposes back in like the 16th to 19th century. But some researchers think they might be much older, maybe remnants of Tartaria or some other lost civilization.
Okay, so we've got ancient weapons, secret languages, giant skeletons, underground cities, and now star forts.
Star forts, it's a lot to take in, and we're just scratching the surface here. Remember, we're exploring alternative perspectives here. We're piecing together a puzzle, we're missing some pieces, So it's about opening our minds to possibilities or challenge what we think we know.
Okay, I have to ask, with all these theories, about lost civilizations and suppressed technologies, do we ever get into, like, who's doing the suppressing?
Oh yeah, that's a big question.
Like if someone's hiding this knowledge, right? Who is it and why?
So some people point to secret societies, powerful elites, and even extraterrestrial forces.
Okay, hold on. Aliens.
It gets out there.
Yeah, maybe let's stick to earthly explanations for now.
Fair enough. So in terms of motivations...
what would these groups even want to hide knowledge for?
They often talk about power and control.
Power and control.
Imagine being able to control free energy, right? Advanced technology, or even the secrets to living longer,
That's a lot of power.
That's huge power over humanity.
And if knowledge is power, exactly, then keeping it hidden is a good way to stay in control.
It's a way to maintain that power dynamic.
But how would they even do that?
Think about how information is controlled today. We've got media narrative, educational systems, and even social pressures that shape how we see the world.
It's like they say history is written by the victors.
Exactly.
Whatever controls the story.
They control how we perceive reality.
Yeah, if you can control information, right, you can easily discredit alternative viewpoints.
Absolutely.
You can bury inconvenient truths.
Totally.
You can even rewrite history
to fit their agenda.
It's scary to think about how much of what we believe
It
is just a story.
A carefully constructed narrative.
Designed to keep things the way they ought.
To maintain that status quo.
Say, what are we supposed to do?
It's not about just accepting it. Questioning the narrative is the first step.
Okay.
When you're aware of the possibility of manipulation, you can start to think critically.
Right.
About the information you give them. Don't
take things at face value.
Exactly. Do your own research. Explore different perspectives and ask yourself, who benefits from this? Who's pushing this narrative?
Yeah, good point.
Don't be afraid to challenge what everyone else thinks.
Yeah, even if it means like going against the grain.
Because sometimes those are the people who make the biggest discoveries.
Yeah, those who think differently.
The ones who dare to question everything.
And speaking of thinking differently, the Bible is Tartarian exposed. Is magic evil?
Oh yeah, that one.
That brings a whole other perspective.
Right.
Magic.
I
don't know if I'm ready for that.
So they suggest that what we call magic might actually just be advanced knowledge of natural forces that we don't understand.
Like imagine showing someone from a few hundred years ago a smartphone.
Exactly.
Think it was magic.
They wouldn't understand it.
Yeah.
And they argue that this suppression of knowledge might include magic too.
So like hiding technology.
Right.
But also spiritual practices.
They could be anything that challenges the dominant paradigm. Spiritual practices.
Knowledge likes anything that doesn't fit.
Exactly. And that suppression could be anything from discrediting those traditions.
Okay.
Demonizing certain practices to even rewriting history to erase those viewpoints.
Wow, so we went from ancient power grids to suppressed magic.
I know, it's wild.
This is a lot.
It's a lot to process.
If magic is real, wouldn't we have proof by now?
Maybe the proof is all around us, but we're not seeing it.
Like we're not looking for it.
We're not seeing it through the right ones.
Right, if you don't think it's possible.
Exactly. Our perception of reality is shaped by our beliefs.
Yeah.
So if we don't believe in magic, we might miss the evidence, even if it's right there.
That's true if we limit our thinking.
We limit our possibility,
If this knowledge is so powerful, how is it being kept around?
Well, Fulcanelli, The Mystery of the Cathedrals, talk about, secret societies.
Secret society, or else
tradition, emoted messages hidden in art and architecture.
The mystery out of
there, it's cool, right?
Yeah.
But remember, we're talking about real possibilities here.
Right.
It's not as crazy as it sounds, to think that knowledge could be hidden in plain sight.
Like think about all the symbolism.
Right.
In religious texts.
Exactly.
Mythology.
Yeah.
Pop culture.
Everywhere.
Maybe the people with the right knowledge can decode those messages.
Possibly.
Unlock the secrets.
Who knows?
Okay, so hidden knowledge, secret societies, cryptic messages.
It's a why.
Embedded in our culture. It's wild.
It's mind-blowing.
With all this talk about suppressed tech.
Yeah?
Do we get any answers?
So that's the tricky part.
Okay.
If knowledge is being hidden, uncovering it can be dangerous.
It's like those movies.
Exactly.
The hero finds the conspiracy light and then has to go on the run.
Yeah, you gotta watch it back.
Yeah, but even if it's risky, the pursuit of knowledge is important.
It's its own reward.
Fulcanelli, The Mystery of the Cathedrals, emphasizes self-discovery at this individual journey of understanding. Even if we can't change the system, we can learn.
You can empower yourself with knowledge.
So we empower ourselves and then share that knowledge. Plant the seeds for a better future.
Plant those seeds.
Okay, so self-discovery, knowledge sharing.
Yeah.
Maybe a little rebellion.
A little bit of rebellion never hurt anyone.
With all these big ideas, do we get any specifics? In terms of what technologies are we talking about?
So, Tartaria explained. PT4, ancient EMF technology, suggests ancient civilizations may have harnessed EMFs for energy.
Like those lightning rods on buildings.
Exactly.
Ones that don't seem to do anything.
What if they were collecting energy from the atmosphere?
Wireless electricity from the atmosphere. Yeah, it could revolutionize everything. Yeah, that would change the game.
Right.
Are there any other technologies?
Tartaria explained. PT5, air travel, oil oligarchy, Titanic Hindenburg, talks about Zeppelin, and how air travel might have been suppressed.
To protect the oil industry.
Exactly, yeah.
I can see how that fits.
Right, if you control the energy.
To power and control
The world.
Makes you wonder what other innovations are gone.
Really dope.
If we had flying cars.
Right.
It's crazy to think about.
It's wild what could have been.
Yeah, and it shows how important it is.
To challenge the status quo.
Challenge the status quo.
Support those pushing the boundaries. Vortex-based mathematics, Marco Rodin, goes into this really cool area of study.
Wait, vortex math.
Vortex-based mathematics.
What's so special about that?
So it's a complex system, but the main idea is that it helps us understand energy, how it moves and interacts in the universe. People think it could be used for everything from physics to engineering, to even biology and consciousness.
So, could vortex math unlock these lost technologies?
Possibly.
Free energy.
It's what some researchers are exploring.
Healing techniques.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
That would be incredible.
It would be amazing.
So we got vortex math,
Mm-hmm.
innovative thinker, and a whole lot of curiosity.
Curiosity is key.
But with all these theories about lost civilization and this hidden knowledge, do we ever get an idea of what life was like back then?
Old world Photoshop, Vanilla Sky's early photo manipulation and compositing unveiled, actually offered a really interesting perspective on that.
What does Photoshop have to do with ancient civilizations?
It's about early photographic techniques, and how they were used to manipulate photos, really, even back then in the late 19th and early 20th centuries.
So they were already photoshopping things.
It makes you wonder if some of those old photo, and especially the ones with grand architecture or unusual structures, were manipulated to hide stuff.
So like a visual cover-up.
Yeah, almost like airbrushing history.
Wow.
To fit a certain narrative.
It's like seeing is believing. But what if what we're seeing isn't even real?
What if it's been changed?
Makes you think.
It shows how important it is to think critically, about media.
Even photos.
Especially photo.
Because we can't just take everything at face value.
You gotta question it, analyze it.
Okay, so we need to be skeptical of even the most realistic images.
Yeah.
But beyond photo manipulation, do we get any other glimpses into life back then?
So, Phoenicians and Hyperborea. Tartaria origins, explores the connection between the Phoenicians, an ancient seafaring civilization, and Hyperborea, this mythical land people think was super advanced.
So we went from photoshopping to mythical lands.
I know, it's a lot.
This is quite the deep dive.
It is. It's all connected, though.
Yeah, it is.
We're piecing together a puzzle.
Yeah.
Missing pieces everywhere.
Right, in every connection. No matter how weird it seemed.
It could lead to something new.
Could be important.
Exactly. New insights, new understandings. Yeah. And in the case of the Phoenicians and Hyperborea, they suggest that these civilizations knew a ton about navigation, astronomy, and even spirituality. They might have had a totally different worldview than us, way more connected to nature and the cosmos.
So not just technologically advanced, but spiritually advanced.
That's the idea. And they connected back to the ancient Irish.
The ancient Irish?
Saying that maybe they inherited some of that knowledge from their predecessors.
So we've got ancient seafarers, mythical lands, ancient Irish connections.
Pretty epic.
It is epic, right? But do we ever get a sense of the everyday lives of the people?
Well, Tartaria explained, asylums, prisons, colleges, as mind control castles in America. Offers a glimpse into that.
Asylums. So we're going from seafarers to asylums.
It's all connected.
Deep dive is wild.
It is. It's all about looking for those patterns, those connections, the insights that help us understand the bigger picture.
And sometimes they come from unexpected places.
Exactly. And Tartaria explained, P8 suggested that a lot of the buildings we see today, asylums, prisons, even colleges, might have had completely different purposes in the past.
The repurposed buildings.
Yeah, almost like layers of history.
Hidden beneath the surface.
Hidden beneath the surface, and they explore how the meaning of these buildings might have been intentionally changed over time.
Or hidden.
Yeah, what if these institutions were once centers of learning, healing, or spiritual practice?
And the truth has been hidden.
That's one of the ideas.
That's wild.
Yeah, and it connects back to that suppression of knowledge, right? Or only information.
If you can control the story,
Yeah,
you can control how people see reality.
exactly. Even something as basic as a building.
Okay, so we've got repurposed buildings, hidden histories, information control.
This deep dive is really making you think,
It is. It's pretty eye-opening.
yes.
With all this focus on the past,
Yeah,
do we get any advice for the present?
that's a great question.
Like, how can we use this?
Well, remember, Fulcanelli, The Mystery of the Cathedrals,
Yeah,
emphasizes symbolism,
okay.
allegory,
Like hidden meaning.
as tools for understanding hidden truths.
So it's not just about the literal events.
Exactly, it's about those deeper meanings.
Okay.
And may suggest that if we can learn to read these symbols,
Yeah,
we can understand ourselves and the world better.
So it's like a giant treasure hunt,
It is clues hidden everywhere,
waiting for someone to find them.
waiting for someone to unlock them.
And the journey is just as important as the destination.
Exactly, it's about expanding our awareness,
Yeah,
questioning our assumptions,
great.
finding new perspectives.
Especially in a world that tries to limit our thinking.
It's more important than ever.
Yeah, that journey of self-discovery.
It's crucial. Yeah, it really is. It's like we're not just sitting back and listening. We're actively searching, looking for those connections, looking for those hidden meanings.
And maybe tapping into that explorer spirit. Like the people who charted new lands and discovered new worlds.
Exactly, because that's what we're doing here, exploring these uncharted territories of knowledge, pushing those boundaries of what we think is possible.
And who knows what we might find? Maybe those giant skeletons are real. Or maybe we'll discover an entrance to one of those underground cities. Or
unlock the secrets of those ancient languages. Imagine tapping into the power of words like that.
Okay, now that would be magical. But even if we don't find concrete proof of the crazier stuff, this deep dive has given us a lot to think about.
Oh, absolutely. It's challenged how we think about the past, made us question everything we thought we knew, and opened our minds to all these new possibilities.
And I think the most important thing is it's reminded us that this journey of knowledge never really ends.
It's a constant exploration, full of twists and turns.
And sometimes the most important discoveries are the ones we make about ourselves.
I love that. It's about keeping that curiosity alive, that thirst for knowledge, that willingness to see the world with fresh eyes.
And to never stop asking questions, even if those questions lead us down some strange and fascinating paths.
Because sometimes those strange paths lead to the most amazing discoveries.
So to everyone out there, keep exploring, keep questioning, keep diving deep into these mysteries. You never know what you might find. And don't forget to check the episode description for links to all the sources and some extra resources if you want to dive even deeper.
Until next time, stay curious.